welcome to the cafe. Grab your coffee and tea, pull up a chair, come hang out with us. I got Charlotte and Michelle with me today. And as you can tell, oh my God, we actually have Blog Talk. In fact, there's the phone number. I put it back in the scroll, 714-816-4628. You can call in. That's right. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. Lets us know you want to be live on air. Meanwhile, we are also simulcasting on YouTube. So those of you on the radio side of things, type in your browser psychic.cafe/live. Or if you're on YouTube, type in the Tarot Cafe. The Psychic Cafe. The Psychic Cafe, and you'll see our channel come up. Click, go into the channel. You'll see the live. You can join us in the chat room on the live. And I see Dan in there and Krista and Morini Nita. I don't know how to say that. I just Mia. Morinita Mia.
Mornita Mia.
I'm just gonna call her Mia. Anyway, and beautiful. Beautiful is in there. Yes.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. We know
So
we're the beautiful
you
person.
know, when you're saying you see all the people that are there way back, way back when I was a tot, there was a show called Romper Room, and I don't know if it was a show in different states with just a different Miss Julie, but she had a magic mirror and she would say hi to all her friends, and she had a very small live audience, but she would always make sure to say, and there, hello too. And every time, like, you're going through the people on the list, it always reminds me. And I just, the name of
her
just popped into my head, Romper Room.
Yeah, we had Romper Room.
And yeah. So when you're saying hi to everybody, that's what it reminds me of, is like when Romper Room would first start and the magic mirror, and she was saying hi to all her friends.
Oh, and by the way, Drops of Jupiter came in, Juanita came in, Angela. Wow, we have regulars that are like just following us.
Yeah.
It's so fun. How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
Yep, been busy.
I'm good. Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna finish the story I was telling you before we started.
Yeah, well, now you got to start over again because we're not in the green room. Everybody's going to want to hear.
It's a fast story. So, yeah, the other night, in fact, I think it was Monday night, I was on YouTube again. I was just, scrolling through some stuff, and somehow, things get put into my feed that have to do now a lot with like tarot readings. And so I just kept getting one after another. I would scroll up and, on my phone, I'd scroll up. There'd be another live reading. There was one gal on there that was just so blasé. I only do readings for money, and it's $20. And I'm like, you get a 5-minute reading for $20? Wow. Yeah, or I don't even know if it was a 5-minute reading. You get a 2 or 3-minute reading for $20. And she was just so like,
well, if she's really good.
She was just so above everybody, and I was like, get over yourself. I mean, I don't disagree with, getting paid for stuff like that, but she was just so full of herself. But
but you can do it without being,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But I think people should get paid the value. And if we do a reading on air and it's only 2.5 to 5 minutes, most of ours are, unless they buy us a cup of coffee, which, hey, right there, yes, it's a donation, but still it's getting kind of paid, to do a reading. If we're providing them valuable information in 5 minutes, that's worth $20. I'm sorry, it is. In fact, most readers, most psychic advisors, unless they're on the lines where they're required to charge by the minute, and because those platforms take such a big cut, everybody's posting between $5 and $10 a minute. Let that sink in. Okay.
Yeah.
Except for those people, everybody else doing readings, just like somebody down at the fair or somebody in a coffee shop, or I don't know, just somebody with their own website or on Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or YouTube, whatever. Most readers and psychic advisors are way undercharging, way undercharging.
Yeah.
And I remember when I started in the industry, too long ago to mention, the standard rate minute wise was like $1 a minute. So a full hour reading was like $60. That went up to, like, I'd say a decade or so ago, 12 years ago, to about $2 a minute. So $120 for an hour, which is more on par actually with what various kinds of therapists are charging, whether it's a massage therapist or a psychotherapist. I mean, the dirt cheap lowest level is maybe $120, $150 an hour. Now we are inching closer and closer to where the average is $3 a minute, So, the other thing that I noticed happened was people weren't doing as many 60-minute readings. So the price went from 60 to 120 for an hour, but then the amount of time that they were actually seeing the client went down to 40, 30, 20 minutes. So it didn't cost as much, but it was still a higher rate time-wise there. It depends on how you look at things, I mean, we're not psychotherapists, but people look at us that way, and they come to see us because they don't want to charge, the going rate now, like probably $250 an hour counselors charge. But it's also the valuable information. If I give information to a client and they take that information and in their business, they do things and tweak things, and their bottom line goes up 100,000, 150,000 that year, then what's that worth, really, if you think about it? I always use the marketing or the advertising model, which is generally a minimum of 10% of gross. So if you take 10% of an extra 100 to 150,000, we're talking $10,000 to $15,000. Now, if a corporate consultant had gone in and helped them get their bottom line up by 100, 150,000, which is actually peanuts, it's really low for a lot of companies, that consultant is definitely going to be charging $10,000 easily. Am I saying tarot readers should start charging $10,000? No, that's not my point. My point is we undervalue our value. I mean, we don't charge even close to what we should be charging. And I've been banging this drum, since we went on air. So like at least the last 14 years. But yeah, a lot of people that are doing YouTube, I'm not talking about readers, just YouTubers in general that have an expertise. People, they if they do lives, most channels don't, but some of the channels do lives, and people go into those lives and they get valuable information. They ask questions and they do super chats, and they're doing $10 and $15 and $20 super chats. So to me, that's an equivalent thing. I mean, if I'm a health expert giving health advice on a YouTube channel somewhere and they're doing super chats and sending $20, then a tarot reader popping on saying, I only do readings for pay, and it's, I wouldn't say it that way. That just doesn't sound right. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what she exactly said, Charlotte. But
no, that's exactly what she said.
yeah,
And she was just so. I mean, she was literally looking down her nose as she said it. And
well, I do that too because I have progressives,
Wow.
and not progressives.
no,
What do they call
not
them?
that way. No, it was the snooty way of looking down your nose.
Sometimes
It
I
was
have
a
to look to make
condescending.
screen
It was
clear.
a condescending.
Yeah, condescending. Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I would be honest, and I would say, if you have super chat capability, I would just say, hey, send us a super chat with your question and we'll be happy to answer. And that way you're not saying that you're charging. Now, if you don't have super chat capability because you don't have you have to have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and we are that close and still have not got over the hump. So we have the coffee channel, the coffee page on the website. Here it is, psychic.cafe/coffee. And yeah, it's our tip jar. You can go there, psychic.cafe/coffee. And we always say on our shows that in the chat on YouTube, whether you're on the phone lines on Blog Talk or you put your question in on YouTube in the chat, let us know your name. If you're on the phone line, obviously your area code so we can pick up your call, and just let us know you bought us a cup of coffee. And guess what? We skip everybody, skip the line. We jump you to the top of the line. We go right to you. No waiting, And so that's a similar thing, but we're not snooty about it. And we still do free readings, and,
Yeah.
I've been doing free readings on these shows for 15 years now. And I love it, at some point, I don't know, that might go down, that might disappear. Like once we get super chat capability and there's super stickers and super thanks, which I don't know what's the difference between all three. I only know what a super chat is because I've been on lives when people click and then up here on the screen, usually down over here, it pops up and super chat from so and so, and it has their whatever their comment was. And in our case, it would be their question, but in other lives, they're asking questions or making comments. So when we get that capability, we'll tell people to super chat, and the people that super chat, we answer their questions first. And then if there's time, we'll do some free ones. But eventually, it's my goal to get to the point where we are doing lots and lots of super chats and we can barely get through them. That's what we would love to do. But hey, real quick, that's an interesting thing though that kept popping up for you, Charlotte.
Yeah, and it wasn't the same one. It was just I was blown away at how many live feeds there were at that time that were basically just one person doing their thing. And they usually got I mean a darkened room with real subtle lighting and,
Yeah.
some kind of a shrine set up.
I don't have room for my candles and all. I wish I had a shelf. I'm gonna have to build a shelf and have candles going. Of course, there'll be electric flicker ones, from QVC, but
Yeah.
and crystals, and of course the purple dragon. Remember, we were talking about I love dragons, and our color scheme is purple. I really need to get some purple dragons. Anyway, hey, real quick, let me tell you the cards I got for today's show. Look, oh my God, it's over, folks. It's over. The 10 of Swords. Stop beating the dead horse. It's dead and over. And then look, the 2 of Cups. So I'm sorry. Yes, it's the relationship is over. Of course, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be you had a partnership in a business or something. It's over. It's over. But in this case, I'm feeling a lot of you. It's about relationships, and what's going on is you're still hurt by the past problems you guys had, and you'd like to move forward, but you can't get them out of your head, because swords are thoughts and ideas. And 10 swords is a lot of overthinking. Now, another thing this might mean, though, is sometimes this combination can mean you are unwilling to accept that the relationship's over. And the fantasy version is still playing out in your head. That's another interpretation. So that's what I got for today. And we'll see if that comes up in any of the readings. Sometimes the cards of the day start a theme. Yeah. So Charlotte, Michelle, did either of you pull cards? Go ahead.
Well, I did. And it's rather interesting because I got the Magician and the Emperor. So now that you are on your own after this separation of whatever relationship is ending from Dax's reading, you need to get all of your tools that you already have. Okay, you already have all these tools. That is what the Magician is saying. Okay, and with Temperance, you need to get all of those into balance. You need to get yourself into balance, and you need to start stepping into your own power, your own intuition, because now that this is your time, now that it is you, it is time for you to move forward. So that's what I have for the cards. Miss Charlotte, did you get anything?
I do, and I was only going to pull one, and I just decided to pull 2. But again, the energy is totally shifted because I'm starting to get, new cards again. But this is a card that showed up. Tell me when you can see it. Showed up on Monday, and it actually showed up twice, but once I was just going for myself. But it's the first breath, the beginner's mind, and it's basically saying, it's time to leave all your crap behind, draw a new breath, and go on from there. And then the other card I got, again, I've not seen this card. I mean, I've seen it because I've gone through this deck, looking at all the different cards, but I've never pulled it for a reading. But it's the Mindful Group Think, and this card it's got so many things going on. It's got, but what it talks about is how much baggage we carry in our brains, and I think that's why it plays off this first breath and leaving the baggage behind. But like, there's an umbrella, there's a clock, there's a cat with some notes around it, there's a some sort of steeple, there's, the tree with the, golden orb. I mean, there's an eyeball. It's just like, because I'm on my phone, I can't tell how well you can see this, but um, basically it's saying, and there's a carousel in there. I mean, it's like, so it's just like, how many things, you know, are in our brain. And I'm sorry, I'm just quickly, but it's saying just be careful of what you do let fill up your head, because that's going to take up space. And so you're going to want to keep as many, positive things in your head that are going to help you with this, help you on this path of the first breath. So keep more good things like love, um, more love, gratitude, um, and yeah. So this just says, time, and I think it goes along with our seasons changing as well. It's time to move on. We just had the new moon, time to clear everything out and start new. And yeah, that's what I got. That's a cool, it's the coolest card. There's a keyhole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to find this card because I'm gonna bury it now that I've used it, but I'm gonna have to dig this card back out again after the show and really look at it, because it's one of those, how many things can you find in this in this picture? And I
Yeah.
was like, I I there were things that I saw that I didn't mention because I didn't want to take up too much time. But
Cool. Well, it looks like we've got a couple of phone calls in the caller queue. There's plenty of room, folks. So dial in 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. If you don't press 1, we assume you're just listening to the show because you're going to be at the bottom of the queue. But if you press 1, it'll push you up into the caller queue in the order that you called in, and we take the calls that way, unless you buy us a cup of coffee. That's right. Let's see what's going on in the chat, though, because a lot of people had come in. I mentioned Juanita and Angela. Irene came in. Doris came in. Pink Lady. Beautiful, I mentioned before. Angel in the Light came in. Yes. Okay. And I got all your questions down except for, Pink Lady has one. Wait a minute. Okay. That's an interesting one. Hang on a second, guys, while I figure out where because I missed that. I didn't see it. And okay, so it's after Krista asking about her daughter Lily. So it would be right here. Let me put it in here and get this down. Pink Lady. Oh gosh. And then we're going to take some phone calls. We're going to take some questions in chat. Krista had said when we were talking about charging that she basically charges $1 a minute, which is very low compared to other psychics.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to mention about that. Let me get this down. Pink Ladies here, which I don't think we've ever had this question, so it should be interesting. All righty. So we are good to go. The thing, I know Chris is one of our new members, getting set up and stuff, and Psychic Cafe doing her thing. She's working on it. And yeah, a lot of people starting out, they do start out really low and they think they have to because skill level, expertise, all that kind of thing. But over the years of studying entrepreneurship and chatting with various service providers, from hypnotherapists to Reiki masters, tarot readers, what have you. We found out that that's pretty much BS. In fact, it's actually the opposite of what you should do. Instead of lowballing it, like I said, $1 a minute was what we were charging 20 years ago. Instead of thinking that, okay, I have to do that, or I have to be in the middle of the pack, what happens with the lower price, $40 readings, things like that, is it becomes a race to the bottom. They call it in business. What you want to do instead is you want to find out where the median is, and then you want to charge 10, 12% above that, 10, 12, 15%. Because then it's like, oh, wait, but I'm charging more than everybody else. Exactly. You are seen as the expert, because the expert doesn't charge like the other hypnotherapists charge $150 per session. They charge $500 per session. And in actuality, they have a minimum of 3 sessions. So their package to solve your issue is $1,500. Boom. That's what they charge. And there are people that just got certified last weekend that are charging $1,500. You could be one of those persons. You don't have to wait and crawl your way up and become a famous psychic. And, so you can charge $700 an hour, like, oh shoot, what was her name? Brown. Sylvia Brown. Before she passed. Yeah, before she passed, I think she was charging about $750. I think it was either 450 or 750. I've got those two numbers in my head. There was 2 psychics, and one was one and one was the other. One was charging 450. No, I think that was her son. Who, like, nobody.
An interesting person. She fascinated me, but she also scared the crap out of me. I thought she was.
She had the worst record of any psychic that I've ever heard. It was unbelievably bad. She's on Montel Williams, and they have, but see, the thing is, most psychics, it's not being filmed. That was what screwed her up. She got filmed. And so 5 years later, when the couple's daughter is found alive and well, they can rewind back to 5 years ago on Montel, where she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, honeys. No, she's dead. She's in water. I feel she's in water." And then 5 years later, you find out she's perfectly fine. And that did not happen once. That happened dozens of times.
And she cranked out the books, and I checked out her books from the library, and they basically said the same thing over and over. She would just put it in a different order.
Yeah. It's like what people are doing nowadays, where they go to ChatGPT or whatever it's called, go to the AI and they go, hey, write me a book about psychic blah, blah, blah. And I want it to have this, this, and this. And it just pops it out. Well, we had a thing even way back when it was Sylvia Brown in the 80s, way before computers and AI and everything like that. We had a thing. It was called a ghostwriter. Yes. So Sylvia had a publisher that had on staff dozens and dozens of these ghostwriters, and they would just churn out them Sylvia Brown books. You think she wrote all those books herself? No. Anyway, it's so fun because I haven't thought about Sylvia Brown in forever. It's so fun to just, talk about her. And John Edwards. Oh my God. I have so many, and there are so many of, like, really intelligent, close friends of mine in the psychic profession that are readers and psychic mediums and stuff like that. And they love John, and it's like, I watched him back in the day. Did I think he was really talking to the dead? No. No. Especially after the exposés came out, where they showed how those tapings because back then, yes, it wasn't digital. We actually had a thing called videotape that went on reels.
Yeah.
And we're dating ourselves. Yeah. Well, anyway, they would tape 6, 7, 8 hours, and they would cherry pick out where he actually had a hit. And they would string those together and make the show. Yeah. So, once I found out that, I was like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this stuff. And it's so funny because, it's like tarot reader, numerologist, run a thing called Psychic Cafe. And I am the biggest psychic skeptic on the planet. I think 90% of it is crap. But there are some talented people, because I've dealt with thousands of readers now. 20 years of the Tarot Guild, folks. It's the 20th anniversary in what? 28, 29 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
29.
Halloween,
Yep.
31st of this month, 20 years. So I have dealt with, talked with, helped out, trained, certified, and had on these shows and interviewed and had them come on as guest psychics, guest co-hosts, thousands. And a lot of them, were really good. And oh, by the way, that's the other thing. The card readers, by and far, have always seemed more, I don't want to say accurate, because you guys know my theory on accuracy in psychic work. There's no such thing. It's like, here's the information. Either you go there or you don't. If you don't, does that mean I'm inaccurate? No, it means I gave you the information. You have free will. That's what it means.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that the card readers, whether it be tarot, oracle, Lenormand, Kipler, tend to be better. I don't want to say more accurate, but more credible, better, really give people useful information, than all the mediums out there. Yes, there are good mediums. In fact, we had a medium show on Tuesdays, and we had some, like Rose Fullhorst and Vivian, and we had really great cream of the crop psychic mediums. But in general, the whole kit and caboodle of psychic mediums, maybe 2 to 5% are decent. The rest of them are just, yeah. I'm seeing okay, and he's behind you, and the initial I'm getting is S. Samantha, Sam. I'm not sure. What are you getting? Anyway, we digress. We're having too. I'm sorry. I have too much fun with this stuff. I do. Dan says more real, Dax. More real. Oh, so that's his explanation of what I was trying to say. More real, not more accurate.
Yeah.
Real. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
So if I scroll all the way back, I see Irene, one of our lifetime members, had a question first, and she wanted to know, what does the universe want me to know about October? So you want to start out, Michelle? Do October?
Right.
For Irene and Charlotte.
Yes.
Mia, that I couldn't pronounce her name earlier.
Yeah.
She wants any message from her spirit guides and or angel team.
Okay.
So you can start pulling on that and checking it out while Michelle is talking for Irene here.
Okay. So for Irene, what I have is you need to, first off, the first card I pulled is to group the darkness. Okay. what that is talking about is sometimes when you spend time alone, are you comfortable with yourself? And that's one of the worst questions to ever answer, because 90% of people always say no. But you have to learn how to be alone with yourself, right? And how to enjoy your own company. It's not about just being alone, it's about enjoying your own company. So greet that darkness, accept the loneliness for a minute. And then you got the nature spirits, because you're not really alone. See, she's on her bed and she looks like she's alone, but she's not, because nature is full of spirits, right? And that's where you need to go. You need to jump into that nature. You need to greet that darkness, that alone time with you, and start building a relationship with yourself in October. Okay. So that way you can start building a relationship with your spirits as well. Okay. And then you'll be finding yourself on a new journey that only you know about at this point. And you may not even know what it is, but when you come to that dark spot, where it's going to take you. So that's what's ahead for you in the month of October. And
Awesome.
I hope that is helpful.
All righty. Go ahead, Charlotte.
So the question was the message from her angels and spirit guides, right? So we pulled this card on Monday too, and I just love it. It's the Inner Earth card about your base chakra, strength and security, laying foundations. And it's telling you that you really are, you really have been that, you know what you need to know to be here, in order to feel safe and fulfilled. And if you have anything that you have been working on, that you have that you've kind of had on hold and have been thinking about, well, you've started planting the seeds, and those seeds now are starting to root down into Mother Earth, and it's time for you to move forward. And also, as you're doing that, this is a card that talked about reclaiming parts of yourself that you've left behind. So that's what your angels want you to know is, it's time to move forward if something you had on hold, and work on reclaiming the parts of yourself that you left behind, because those are the things that are going to make the thing probably have to do with what you put on hold. It's a dream that you've had for forever, but it got shoved to the back of your sock drawer, and that's where it stayed. So time to dig that out again and go for it.
Awesome. Hey, Michelle, where are you?
Right here.
Got some great announcements. I mean, literally, as you guys were doing readings, these things were popping in. So, you guys know one of our members, Gretchen, right? And she comes in here sometime. She just signed up for her professional certification.
Nice.
Yep.
Right on.
Congratulations, Gretchen.
Yes.
She her payment just came through, and also a cup of coffee came through from Krista. So we are going to take Krista's question first, right away, no waiting. And then we also had one come in from Mindy, who is on the phone lines, area code 509. And this is the thing. I know we say we're going to drop everything and go right to your call, but we've got two. We've never had this happen where two cups of coffee came in at the same time. So the first person that sent in their cup of coffee was Krista. We're going to take her question first, and all of us can pull cards, and we'll just see what happens. Her question was, Krista, in what ways can I improve on how I am caring for my daughter, Lily? Interesting question. How can in what ways can I improve on caring for my daughter, Lily? And I see Michelle's pulling cards already. Charlotte, you can pull cards too if you want. You don't have to, but if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
We'll give. Plus, Krista's also a member of the guild, so let's give her the full-on treatment, right? And then, Mindy, you're next. As soon as we're done with Krista, we'll go to area code 509, dropping everything happening because she's still in a cup of coffee. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, are you still pulling, Charlotte?
I am.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So the first two cards got the mountain and the bouquet. So
okay.
The first thing you need to do is you need to see this obstacle as a gift. And I know that sounds insane, but start with a gratitude journal and just start writing down everything you are grateful for every day, right? And use your wisdom. See, we have the birds here. Use your wisdom and your intuition. And when you're writing in your intuition or your great gratitude journal, start making notes on Lily. What are ways you can care for her? Start a Lily journal with your gratitude journal. And be appreciative, because every obstacle is not just a challenge, but it's a lesson to be learned. And when you take those lessons, you can not just grow from them, but you can teach others how not to make the same mistakes. So some of those lessons you can turn into business adventures. So again, coming back to journaling, start journaling business ideas, because then you're going to start seeing ways to financially as well as emotionally supporting little Miss Lily. And so that's what I have for you. Okay.
That is really awesome. I like that. My stuff is really simple, and what I got when I pulled cards, and it's not so much like exactly physically what you can do for Lily, but it all starts with you. And I'm getting the hope card, the star. Okay. Two things I get from that. For one thing, as far as Lily directly, you want to make her the star, literally. But also, this is the hope and optimism card. It's extremely important that you remain optimistic, and that you focus on optimism and gratitude. In fact, that dovetails perfect. Michelle, does that not dovetail perfectly with what you just said about the journaling aspect?
It does.
Yeah, I mean, talk about, oh my God, the synchronicities. Yep. Okay. And then the other two messages coming through, real quick things. One is the King of Pentacles. That's simply talking about, yes, you can help Lily actually the most by making sure that things are financially stable and you have proper investments and insurance and everything. God forbid anything happens to you, make sure that she is provided for. Okay. And then lastly, the Five of Wands. And it's interesting. I've 30 years of getting the Five of Wands. I've never had this happen to me. But as soon as I looked at the Five of Wands, sometimes people say, oh, well, fives typically negative cards, and it looks like, oh, there's a battle going on here, they're fighting whatever, and so they talk about arguments and fights and different things. But what else this can mean that a lot of people don't use in their readings, but I often do, is it looks like they're trying to build a tent, and because it's guys not reading the instructions, they're sucking at it. This is basically Dan and his friends trying to put a tent together. Okay. But for this reading, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's that old saying. When did we start hearing that a lot? Was it the 80s to late 80s, early 90s? It takes a village to raise a child. That's what this is talking about. Don't be afraid to include other people, to share the burden, to find people that can do things for you and Lily, do things better than you can do. Maybe there's people that do XYZ better. Let them do it. Pay them to do it while you're making money. King of Pentacles. Yes. So, and plus, hey, family, grandparents, grand uncles. I mean, your circle of friends, even, it takes a village. So that's what I was getting. How about you, Charlotte? Any insights?
I got this beautiful card, and again, one that I'm not old. It's the night of pulling new cards, but it's the heart. Uh, and it's about compassion, and this card is about when you start to feel like you don't belong anywhere. It's time for you to make space for yourself to drop into your heart space and to find the peace and quiet that's there. Because when you're in her heart space, you're where pure love resides. It's not a kind of love that you have to earn. I can make it a little bit emotional. It's not the kind of love that you have to work for or earn or anything. It's just there. And once you drop into your heart space, then it allows you to forget everything. Like, so when you're being so hard on yourself about things that you feel like you may have done wrong in your heart space, that it doesn't exist. The only place that exists is in your mind. And so when you're there, it allows you to wash clean all of those judgments that you made about yourself. Oh, did I do this right? Did I do that right? Oh, I really messed that up. No, it allows you to wash all that clean and just start over again. But you have to give yourself time to do that. So it's okay to find some time for yourself. And and it's not talking about a whole day. It's talking about, just find a quiet moment in the day and, or make an opportunity to have a quiet moment in the day where you can drop into your heart space and forgive, not wash clean everything. It's not about forgiving, because forgiving says you still feel like you've done something wrong, and you really haven't. You've just lived your life. You've done the best you could do. So wash that away and start new. And when this card shows up, it's the universe saying you need to do this, and if you don't, the universe is going to make you do it eventually. But, so I think it ties in with, the other readings, especially about like the gratitude journal. when you do your gratitude things, I think you drop into your heart space if you're truly, you know, that happens a lot when you're in your heart space, is when your true gratitude shows up. So that's what I got.
Awesome. And
Nice.
since you ended with the optimism or the gratitude, I want to say optimism and gratitude, it's an extra fuel for the law of attraction. And what you're doing is, by focusing on the optimism and the gratitude, and why gratitude journals are so great is they bring your focus back on that, and you're telling the universe that you want more of that. See, that's how it works. That's why gratitude is so great, is because it's the message you're telling the universe, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
And and also, once you do this, then you can let your spirit, you can let spirit fill your heart with the peace that you need to go on. So
okay. And then we're gonna
that's a
bring
cool card. I want to pull that card every day. Love that card.
Well, you can. No one's stopping you. Let's bring Mindy on. She wants an update on her cat. That's that Mindy. Are you there, Mindy? And then Michelle, you haven't got to pull cards on Mindy yet.
Oh wait, who did we do both? Did we do both tip?
Well, that's Mindy. That's Mindy.
Yeah, Mindy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Mindy sent in a cup of coffee, and we got her on the phone line, 509.
Oh, well, so I did send Mindy a message.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Night.
I didn't see the message, but I saw a post where you guys were communicating, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I was so glad that you guys hooked up after the show that Mindy was on, and the whole, about the cat, and I didn't know if you guys had gotten together.
So
yeah, Mindy, thank you so much.
Since last night, I haven't really had a chance to tune. Well, actually, it was early this morning. I really haven't had a chance to tune in much again, but what I did find when I did tune in was what I told her was I saw the kitty laying under a big pine tree, and there was a person with her that had black pants and a blue button up long sleeve shirt, the kind with the collar, and I think it was a male, and petting the cat. And I will say the cat, I didn't mention this last night, but I've let things roll around in my head and tried to pull it, because it's hard when you start seeing things like that. You try to get it all down as it happens, but then you're like, oh, that I remember seeing that. But the cat it was very still, but I don't think she was gone. But I don't think she had a lot of energy. But that doesn't mean that she's not gonna make it back. And I have been sending her the message, to try to help her, like find her way back home if she can. But right now I think what I'm getting though is that she's not sure where she's at, and that makes it hard for her to find a way home. And it's
and I've got to 75 houses today and pound the pavement till I have blisters on my feet. trying to find, leaving little printed flyers on each house that I went to and walked everywhere. So I don't know where she's at. I just didn't know if you guys knew.
And that's where, it's, I told you where I saw her, but I don't know where that is in relationship to your RV. That's the hard thing is, like, unfortunately, the universe hasn't gifted me with GPS. Oh, so that I can go, oh, there's the tree, there's the trailer, okay. And I wish, I mean, how wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that be a cool gift to have? Spiritual GPS. Right. But I do think she's being taken care of. I just think she doesn't know how to find her way home. And I would seriously, are you on Facebook, and have you looked up the Pet Lost and Found group on Facebook for your area?
I'm trying to get, they're coming to hook up my internet tomorrow. I haven't hooked my internet up, but once that happens, I can get on my computer and log into Facebook. But my phone is not allowing me to get.
You can't do that on your phone. You don't have any data on your phone.
Well, no, I do. It's just that I can't. I don't know my password to log in, and it's an old phone number, so I can't log in through my phone. But I'm automatically logged in on my computer. So once I can fire that up, and I can log into Facebook and see that way. But
yeah, because I mean that opens it up to a whole. I mean, I live in a pretty rural area, so things are quite spread out, and a lot of time animals will get lost up on the mountain, and people will go, hey, our dogs took off around here, we haven't seen them. And then somebody will go, oh, I just found this, I saw this dog, and they haven't even seen the post for the lost dog. They'll be like, I just saw this dog up on this part of the mountain, and they will have taken a picture on their phone of what the dog looks like, and then somebody else will go, hey, somebody just posted about that. About that dog. And so I've seen that work really, really well. And I, short of the information that I've given you,
do you know if it was a house? You know, if it was like a house or an RV, or I mean, like a mobile home? Did you see the house that was like around it? Was it like a house or a mobile home?
See any buildings. Like I said, I saw the intersection. The tree was by an intersection.
I actually got something, Charlotte. I got a white house and a house, not an RV, but like a white house with, it's hard to say, darker red or maroon roof. Looks kind of red, but it could be maroon, or it could even be brown. Really, it's that genre of color scheme there, but it's definitely white.
And that's what I felt like. That tree was in a yard, or it was someplace where the lawn had been kept, mowed, and the lawn was green, and the intersection was not a busy intersection. It was, no painted lines. It was just an intersection in some sort of a neighborhood. And that's, it was a very narrow kind of picture, but I would go with Dax. Dax is what he got, and then drive around it.
It's not like there's a lot of other houses around it. I mean, it could be, over a little bit, but there's a significant amount of land there where between buildings. So it's like this white house.
Sounds like she's out of the RV park.
Yeah, I don't think
out of the RV subdivision and into a normal subdivision, and they can travel a long way. I mean, and that's, I don't know, how long were you in the place that you were before you parked your RV where you are?
About 2.5 years.
And how far
And she
away?
never went out.
Well, yeah, but how far away from where you are now was that?
Oh, that's about 20 minutes away.
I would go check. I would go and put flyers up there too, because she might be headed back to that area. There's something about animals and where they've lived before,
Mhm.
and she may very, even though she didn't ever get out, they still, it's something about the air pressure and you know the
The
different smells that
smells.
came
Yeah.
through the windows, and of
That's
course she
all
looked out
freeway.
the
I mean,
windows.
it would be a whole freeway ride. I mean, for her, for 20 minutes, freeway, that is.
Well, she won't probably get on the freeway, but she might, find a way underneath. Or I'm just saying, that's another place that
Yeah.
I would definitely check, is where you lived before, especially if it's not that far away. I would
Okay.
definitely check that area. And that might be where you
Mhm.
see the tree and the house and you know. So
Yeah,
that's
there's no pine trees over that way. I mean, are you sure it was a pine tree for sure that you saw?
I'm my degree is in forest management, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a pine tree. Could have been a
Okay.
spruce. I mean, it might have been a spruce, but in fact, I'm pretty sure it was a spruce tree, but it was, everybody just calls them pine trees because they're green all the time.
Yeah.
It was a coniferous tree, uh, and it was probably a probably 28, 24-inch diameter, maybe at the base there, maybe a little bit bigger. So I mean, it was a substantial tree. And like I said, the
Okay.
branches didn't come all the way down to the ground. There was plenty of room to almost, I think you could actually walk underneath it, and very comfortable, to sit underneath it. And that's kind of what I saw, was this man with the blue shirt and the black pants with your cat.
Okay. Boy.
So I will try again. I mean, I'll definitely try again at tonight and see what I can get. It's I've got to wait. I have to wait for my dogs to settle down a little bit. And even when I was trying to, you know, connect the first time, I thought they'd settled down for the night, and then I started connecting, and um I don't know if that's what got them riled up, but they all of a sudden, and I'm like, okay, I've got to stop for a minute, because they were like, you know, just they were, all of a sudden they were hearing things and running to the window, and I'm like, it's the middle of the night, for crying out loud. But anyway,
Wow.
Mindy, I'm wishing you the best of luck, and please go check, any of the like back roads on the way to your old place, and check around your old place, and and look for the
Yeah.
house that Dax saw, and um because it sounds like she is maybe in an older neighborhood, because that's where you're going to see those bigger trees.
Mm.
um
Yeah.
and
Yeah, there wouldn't be any pine trees over where I came from. It was like in a cul-de-sac, and it was kind of in a remote area where it was just desert and just kind of off by itself.
Yeah, well, like I said, she might be on her way there, though, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
You know, animals, they have a funny way about wanting to go back to where they were. And that, especially where, you know, you said you'd only been in where you are for 2 weeks. That's a very short time to establish a home territory. You know, even though she doesn't get out, it's still,
Yeah, she doesn't really get out, so she doesn't. I mean, she's
yeah.
familiar with my RV, but she's not familiar with outside. Nor, I mean, generally, like she would be familiar. I wouldn't think she'd be so grounded with outside over there because she'd only been outside a handful of times out there, even. So,
Well, yeah,
I mean, but
like
maybe.
I said, is there something about the smells? You know, the smells that come in through the window, the sounds of the different cars on the roads, I don't know what it is, how they find their way back to their, you know, to where they moved from. But there are so many stories about that. You hear so many different stories about, you know, animals showing up,
Yeah,
you know, months later
Yeah.
at their old house. And um I don't know. To me, if it was me, I would definitely would be checking out if there were back roads that are like that. Because where you're at in Richland, there are pine trees there, right?
yeah, they would have to. She would have to cross a bridge. I mean, even so, I don't think she would make it back over to where we were at all, because she'd have to cross over a bridge with water and stuff, and it's a freeway bridge.
Well, animals are, they do amazing things, and
Yeah,
you know, if they can, so I don't know. It's just it's your choice. I'm telling you, if it was
yeah, no, I
my
appreciate it.
animal,
Yeah, I do.
that's what I would do. Because you know, you covered a lot of area around your house. You know, you've got her litter box out. Hopefully it's, you know, hate to say this, a dirty litter box, a used litter box, so it's got her smell on it.
Yeah,
And
I left a little bit in there, just a one time that she went in there. So I mean, that was all that was in there, but I did leave it in there.
yeah, and um and we'll just have to see how we go. A lot of times when animals cross over, for some reason they're really, all of a sudden they're with me, and they're with me, and you know, I've had cats curl up on my lap. I've had cats, you know, paw themselves across my lap back and forth. I've had dogs that have run circles around the chair that I'm sitting in, and you know, and they're just, you know, and I'm not getting that from her yet. So that's why I don't think she's passed over yet, is because I haven't picked up
Yeah,
any of that kind of stuff from her yet. I haven't gotten that feeling from her yet.
that's good then.
So
That's a great thing. That's a great
Yeah. Yep.
giving me hope anyway. You know what I mean? Like I just want to find her.
Yeah.
yeah,
Alrighty.
and then once you do
Appreciate it,
find
you
her,
guys. I really do. I'm so sorry to be the negative one that comes on, but you know.
you're not negative. You're not negative. You're worried about your cat, and some of the things we're saying are hard to believe, but um and uh and I'm when she comes back, you're gonna go get her chipped, right? So that
Yeah,
if
I
somebody,
will.
you know,
When she
if
comes
somebody,
back, I look and say that, like, that makes me feel so much better that she's going to come. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that
yeah,
I'm not willing to give up hope. Everybody's like, well, you might need to. And I'm like, no, don't talk negative to me. Just keep that to
not,
yourself.
yeah, you don't listen to those people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, nope. I've heard different, so I'm holding on to hope, and And I thank you guys really a lot. So for guidance and everything, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Thanks for the call, Mindy.
and
All
we'll
right.
keep in touch. We'll keep in touch on the on
On the
like
website.
yeah, on the website. We'll keep
Messaging
in
and
touch.
stuff. Yeah. It's free to join the website, Psychic Cafe. Just open a new tab in your browser, type in www.psychic.cafe. It'll take you right there. It's free to sign up. And you can message.
Yeah, and just lost animals are something that I will never charge for ever. Lost animals are something I will never charge for. If I can help get a lost animal home somehow,
Oh, yeah.
I will never charge for a lost animal. In fact, most animal communicators don't. But I will never charge for a lost animal. Anything
Pet
else?
psychic.
Well, there you go, Dan.
Pet detective psychic. I don't know.
Oh, he did.
I'm
he
trying
put
to.
it in there. Good.
Yeah. Hold on a second while I am multitasking on the website here, sending messages, blah blah blah.
So it and with you after.
Wait, I can't understand. Michelle, you're breaking up.
Oh.
Totally.
Yeah, don't rock when you talk. I think that's what's happening when you're rocking and talking is when you're breaking up. So what did you say?
Dan will get a hold of you after the show because we have a missing cat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
How long have they been gone?
2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Hey, Crystal Rose, Low Spark, Arif. Just want to mention some of the new people coming in there. We've got questions from way back. We've got other phone calls to take. Took care of the two that bought coffee. And hey, let's hold on a sec. Let me just pop that in the chat again. Oh, shoot. That is not the URL. Hold on. God damn it. I just totally screwed it up. Oh boy. This is what happens. This is what happens when you try it. What?
Drop it to your heart, please.
I'm sorry. When I don't know, for some reason when I'm trying to talk, like if Charlotte tries to talk, like she's all like broken up and it just messes up. I can't understand what you're saying and everything. Wait till I'm done here and then you can tell me what you were just saying, because it all broke up for me. So let me erase this, and there, finally got it in. All that just to get in psychic.cafe/coffee. If you want to grab us a cup of coffee, we will drop everything and take your call or your question in chat first. Yes, that's right. And by the way, if we can't get to your call tonight, we will be doing our next show. Gosh, it will be actually next Monday. That's right. We're taking a little bit of a hiatus. First of all, the beginning of the month, we always take the first Saturday off. I have a meeting, and so because Maria's God, what's her show again? Angelic,
The Angelic View.
Yeah, she hasn't been on it so long that like my mind she can't even remember. Because she's normally on the first and the third Sundays. Yeah. And we've been doing a Psychic Cafe live show on like the second and fourth, like on the third Sunday. And then the second and the fourth are our Zoom sessions where we're doing mastermind and we're doing Q&A and discussion and everything like that with the members. So, and our students. So, because she's on hiatus and because I take that Saturday off anyway, I always take the Sunday off too. And that that gives us a little bit of a break there before the rest of the month, and gives us a breather and let us, come up with ideas and workshops and topics and like guests we're going to have on and things. A little bit of a breather. Well, I have some errands to do tomorrow, and I don't think I'm going to get back to the office in time to do the Thursday show. So I invited Ellie, who often comes on the Thursday show, to tonight's show, but I guess she either got the message late or couldn't make it. I haven't heard from her yet, but we're taking Thursday off tomorrow and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll be back Monday. Nice little rest for all of us. Whew. Because Michelle and Charlotte, you guys have been popping on a lot of shows. So we're all going to take a little bit of a break here. I was just messaging Gretchen, congratulating her on applying for certification and getting in on the half off sale during our fall sale. Hey, if you're already a member, the link, if you're already a member, you have access to the private Tarot Guild members group on Psychic Cafe. Go there and look at the top post. You're going to see a link where you can get certification for half off. So instead of $138, it's just $69. And thanks to the folks that grabbed us some cups of coffee. Pink Lady, who's feeling more mediumship-y lately? Who wants to take this question? Pink Lady had asked, is my sister Lucille alive?
I don't want that.
Yep, it's one of those questions.
I mean, that's a question I would definitely like run through the pendulum, but I don't know if I would trust it or not.
I wouldn't trust it. But Michelle, you want to do that, or I can always do a yes no spread,
I mean, really, what else can you do? Because I mean, I'm not a medium.
Yeah, me neither.
In any way, shape, or form. And yeah.
I am, let me tell you, I'm not laughing at the question. So I'm looking for a card because I actually already pulled cards on this question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But I can't remember where I put my cards.
No, I shuffled them back in the deck, but I know what they were. So, okay. Now, this was asked by Pink Lady, I believe. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, I cannot say for sure if Lucille has passed on or if she's still here with us. But here's what I do have, okay? There is the garden card and the letter card. So there is a message for you. You need to look for some sort of written communication, and I feel like she has been in some sort of a garden area, and not necessarily a garden, but a meeting place with other people, right? And that's where you're going to find this written communication. I don't know if that's going to be her computer, where she used to work or go to school, but it has something to do with a yellow ribbon. And I don't know if that's helpful, because that is the only thing the spirit guides would drop into my vision was a yellow ribbon. So that is going to be part of what this information holds, and that is going to be a clue in helping you on your journey to discover where your sister currently is. So keep searching and just keep going forward, okay? And that is what I have for
Oh
you.
man. That's exactly what I got. It's crazy. You know, sometimes my deck doesn't like to answer certain questions. And so I did a yes, no on this. I got 2 yeses, 2 nos, and 1 maybe.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You know, so it's a maybe. I mean, it's leaning yes, but you know, I just think the deck doesn't like the question. But the central focus card in the center is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is all, look at the Ace of Wands. Look at my thumb.
Yep.
The Ace of Wands is literally the thumbs up card.
Thumbs up card.
I think she's still out there. And a couple of the other cards hint this way. First, the Hermit card. Notice that, okay, so the Hermit, taking a step back, you might get help from a mentor or somebody that is more expert in this, you know, but also just taking a step back from it yourself and reevaluating, and like, do you really want to know? And if so, what effort are you going to put in to search? And look what he's doing. Literally in this version, this is the Mirrodin Llewellyn deck version of the Hermit, and Mirrodin was actually a magician, so right, Merlin. So you know, there's a lot of magic aspect to this version of the Hermit. And look what he's doing. He's got the torch, he's lighting the way, and he appears to be moving forward. And so what is he doing? He's in the dark searching. So this is exactly what Michelle said. Keep searching. And then look at this last card I got. 3 of Cups. There they are celebrating. This could be you and your sister and a friend, or if you have or a mom figure, or if you have another sister. Look, celebration. Yes, yes. So I think you're going to be able to find her even. I think she's alive, and you're going to be able to find her. Okay.
So I suppose you guys
Awesome.
don't want to know that when Michelle was talking about a meeting place and things written down and a yellow, a cemetery is what came to mind
Ooh.
for me.
And it very well could be.
But that's when she was talking. I mean, that's what I saw. I saw headstones, and you know, they're frequently yellow ribbons tied in cemeteries, and
and my stuff that I got was more about the search, not whether or not she was alive that much. Because remember, I got 2 yes, 2 no, and a maybe.
Yeah.
You know, so it's maybe. So it could be either, right? And also, just because she's searching and finds and celebrates doesn't mean that she's alive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. She might want to just find her sister and will be celebrating that she's not alive, for all we know. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I'm just saying that, you know, you can't assume anything. You can't assume anything.
But I pulled a deck out of Pamela's Eternal Seeker deck, and it was the Rebirth card. So,
maybe she was dead, like you saw her, but she's coming back.
And that was after I saw the cemetery. That I'm pulling a card. I got to pull a card, and it was the Rebirth card, which, and then also the Crone. So,
we're going to go back to phone lines in just a minute. Hang in there on the phone lines. Might have time for one more call. We're actually going long here. And in fact, in any moment now, the 90-minute warning is going to start telling us that the live streaming via radio is going away, but we are not going away on YouTube. And if you're already dialed into the show, you're not going away. You'll still hear the show, and we'll be able to talk to you. but we're running out of time to answer questions. So you all might have to wait till Monday. A lot of the people that have come in more recently, unless you buy us a cup of coffee, psychic.cafe/coffee. Let us know in the chat. We will bring you on your call right away, no waiting, or we'll take your question in chat, skipping everybody else. That's the secret way that you do it. You buy us a cup of coffee, psychic.cafe/coffee. And why coffee? We're a freaking cafe, people. It could be tea though, too. Yeah. Beautiful in chat wants to know what's wrong with my Leo. Why doesn't he invest? And that's all I jotted down. Let's see if I can find the actual question. Do you remember where this question was, Michelle? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. What's wrong with my Leo? Why he is not investing in the connection much? Is he going to put extra efforts? Thank you. Okay. Who wants to do that one?
Well, this is one of those. How much effort first of all, how much effort are you putting in yourself? If you're not happy with if you're not happy with the effort he's putting in, have you talked to him about it? You know, going direct is always the best, but the card that comes up I love this job. So it's the Lost in Space card needing direction. So
Lost in Space card. I used to love Lost in Space, the TV show.
So what this is telling me is that he's not even aware that he's not meeting your needs. So you know, that's that to me, that's just short and sweet. This is saying
that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect. And in fact, I got a real quick one too. Angel of the Light had asked, am I on a twin flame journey? And is there like a future with him? Blah, blah, blah. The Fool card. Literally, yes, go for it. I love when we can do it real fast like that. I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Lost in Space. I mean,
that's awesome.
That cracked me up because I right away I saw Billy Mooney, the actor that played the kid, and I'm like seeing all that. I met him at Comic-Con.
Oh, really? Yeah, Billy I used to love that Billy show Mummy. Too. We would come home from school and like Gilligan's Island, Lost in Space.
Yes.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson.
That was the good old days. Okay, back to
black and white television.
Black. I had black and white. I had a little tiny one and a little one. Anyway, so we got to wrap things up. So let's go back to the phone lines.
90 seconds.
Yeah, I told you the streaming's going away.
Yeah.
Area code 917. Are you there, 917? You're the last caller. Hello. They've waited all night too. Area code 917. What's your name and where are you calling from? Going once. Going twice. 2.5. Okay, 3
seconds.
Okay, they missed their. They're probably in the loo or something, and oh man, let's see if we can. No, we already did Irene's. She put her thing in twice here. She should know better. She should know better. Was there another question that I think Low Spark wanted us to pull a few cards or pull cards. Sincerely, Ellie. Eli. And then Arnav said good night. Oh, okay. Good night, Arnav. Yay. So who wants to pull a card for Low Spark? See what comes up.
What does Low Spark want?
A card. Yeah, it's a general.
10 seconds.
Please pull a card for me, Eli. I guess his name's Eli because he says sincerely Eli. Low spark. And then we're gonna have to call it a night because man, we're at 8 o'clock.
So I got the solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower, and I'm just going to show you this card because I think this card is cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's saying, you know, pull within yourself, draw from your inner strength because it's there,
Oh.
and you know, and you've got it made, and I mean, because look, there's just like a virtual like explosion of light, and that's coming from your inner self. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's saying, you know, you do, if you put the effort in, the reward's going to be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I pulled a card too, which just happens to be the card of the day, the Two of Cups, along with that Ten of Swords. So I'm just, just saying low spark or Eli, uh, let it go, hun. It's dead. It's dead and gone. Dead and gone. Yes. You know what we need to do? We need to, who was it? Was it Mary? For a while there, we started doing like when we would get past a certain time, we had a certain time set, and we got past a certain time and we switched to the lightning round, and we just did everybody just pull one card. I think
Yeah.
we should try to do that.
I got
I think
released.
that'll-
What goes along with what you just said.
Oh my God, you got released. That is hilarious. Yes, let it go.
And it's
Eli.
Archangel Azrael, and he's saying what Dax just said: release it, let it go.
That is so hilarious. That is so hilarious. But yeah, what do you guys think about doing that? Like,
I like it.
I usually only pull one card anyway, so
yeah, and that's really good. We like that. How is it though that I'll pull 5 cards and answer in 60 seconds, and you'll pull one card, Charlotte, and go on for 5 minutes?
Oh, it's easy.
yeah, because
Very easy.
It's easy, yeah. But this is the thing. What we can do is like, do the hour, and you know how we're always trying to stop at an hour, but it never happens. So we like do an hour, and when we I'll set an alarm, and when it goes off, we know, like, we start at 6:30, and when it goes off at 7:30, we know, okay, lightning round, and we just
do one card each.
Pull one card for each question in the chat, and then end the show early. Yay.
Yeah.
Oh God. Speaking of ending the show, just real quick, I'm going to pop back on here again, psychic.cafe/coffee. If you had a lot of fun tonight, you want to, send us some love, right? Remember, we have the fall sale going on. I got to change this. I'm getting rid of the back to school thing, and I need to make new banners that just say fall sale. So my course is $100 off, $199, and certification and membership are included, free. Totally, you save $300. Yes. So $199, and you go over to psychic.cafe/school. I'm going to put that in the chat if you want to get that deal. And then also, like Gretchen just did, if you're already a member of the guild, you can get your professional certification for half price. Instead of $138 per level, it's $69. So that's another thing too. If you're already certified, but you have not been thinking of like applying for certified tarot professional, certified tarot master, each of those levels is only $69 right now too. So, just like Michelle, Michelle, you did that.
I just got the tarot professional.
Right.
So I'll be going for the Grandmaster.
Going to master. Going for master. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there. Now
Sorry.
if you're not a member yet, you can get your membership and the professional certification both on sale. In fact, it's cheaper than half price. It's only $99. I kid you not. Also, become a host on the network. You could join us and do this and promote yourself. And psychic.cafe/hosting will tell you all about that. And like I said, we'll be back on Monday. Me and my friends. Yes.
Fun
We should,
day, fun day.
we should see if Eli, I'm stuck on Eli because of low spark, that last reading. Ellie, we should see if maybe Ellie can make a Monday night.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, guess what?
who doesn't want to come?
Dan. Dan did his very first video.
Oh, what was it about?
It was about Pamela Steele's first printing of
Oh, I saw that. I thought you were
Steel
talking about a
Wizard.
different kind of video. But
No,
yeah, did he
his
review
very
it?
first video. He just did a quick opening of it. He showed a couple of cards, but
Well,
yeah,
that's cool.
I just wanted to let everyone know he did his first video. So now you can see
Congratulations,
him live on
Dan.
the cafe. Yay!
Yeah, see, that's what we need. We need content like that, and
Get off.
yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. Thanks everybody for being here. We don't have a show without the audience. And thanks to Charlotte and
Great.
Michelle for joining me here on the show once again.
Us.
Now we got to do the battle of the lives, the battle of the, what do they call it? Views. Battle of the views.
Oh, battle of the views. Yep.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.